ELI5 The US has had a trade deficit since 1975. So is the US trade deficit really such a bad thing? Not particularly bad. It means the USA is getting a higher value of stuff shipped in than shipped out. The potential downside is that the USA could become too reliant on imports and unable to cope when something disrupts them, or you have an issue when too much of your currency is controlled by foreign entities, but none of those are necessarily issues. Just potential issues. Our economy is service-based and consumption-fed, so it makes sense we import more than export. Consumption represents 70% of the GDP. Short answer: no. International economics are insanely complicated. So longer answer would be that it could be a problem if things changed. As it stands right now, it's not a big deal. It basically means we're spending more than we're making for trade. But it's not like we aren't getting stuff. I have a personal 100 trade deficit with my local grocery store. I only ever give them money, but I get food in exchange. Isn't the trade deficit viewed in vacuum not give a clear enough picture? Doesn't the local economy matter? If I export $1 of my goods and import 2 of raw materials which I can sell for 1.5 locally, wouldn't that be a good thing? Several years ago, The Economist added all countries reported deficits and surpluses. The result was an overall Earth deficit roughly equal to that reported by the USA. Everybody has a trade deficit with somebody. You have a massive trade deficit with your grocery store. For example, you likely don't produce much of anything they sell, and you are far better off because of it. Same goes for the electronics store, clothing stores, etc. The things we don't produce because they are produced more cheaply elsewhere frees up labor to produce other goods and services, many of which are worth even more than the goods we don't produce. It is not a bad thing because the US is a debt-based economy. On the books, debt counts as money. So, if we default on the debt, it will erase the value of all the money. However, we used that debt to obtain physical goods. So if we do default, we still keep the goods since we have the greatest military in the world to defend those goods. It's like having a mortgage. You don't want one too big. And you do end up spending more because of interest, but a lot of people have accepted its consequences of having a mortgage.